time on Casino Royale with cheese.
I'm going to have to nerd the fuck out for a minute.
I'm going to take a short nap. You know when you're done.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
So they destroyed it in the television show?
They destroyed it in Star Trek Generations, the 7th movie that featured Shatner and Patrick Stewart.
Did they do that? No, they didn't, because Next Generation was already on TV.
Next Generation was off of TV at that point.
So it already did its run.
You really did sleep through that, didn't you? By far, Patrick Stewart is the best thing that has ever happened to Star Trek, in my opinion. He's outclasses all the rest of the actors.
So he's an actual actor.
Right, yeah. He's in his own league. He's an actor. Fair point.
And now, the conclusion.
Houston, we have a problem.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Silent Green is people!
Yo, Adrian!
Let's put a smile on that face.
I gotta warn you, Clark. They don't play the same games here as they do at them regular casinos.
Royale, too.
Call me crazy, but I have a thing about drinking from the anus of another creature, okay?
Welcome back to Casino Royale with Cheese. This is episode number 37, did we say?
It is.
Yeah, it is. Of the show where we discuss movies that were number one at the box office exactly 20 years ago. My name is Shane. Today I'm joined by the man who has no qualms about insect gentrification. This is Mike.
Don't know what that means, so I guess I can't have qualms with it.
It's like selective breeding, I think, is... I might not even be thinking the right thing. I don't know. I know that it's like whenever they excise people from like one place and have them move to another. So we'll go with it.
I know like gentrifying is like the term I use that for is like basically hipsters moving into the ghetto.
Yeah. Kind of like Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. How's it going today there, amigo?
Going pretty awesome. How are you? Yeah. I tore the pool down today.
Oh, did you? Did you guys do the thing where you stuck Farrah in it and then sliced it on the side? Or
No. I didn't put her in there. I didn't know if it was going to come out predictable or not.
Right. Watch her skin her arm or some shit. Like rip the
or
skin off of her arm or some
or
craziness.
get stuck and then, traumatized.
Right. She's stuck literally underwater until it all drains out. Yeah. No. Are you guys going to try to recycle that thing or is it junk?
No, I slit the side of it wide open to drain the pool. Yeah, it's done.
I got you. Yeah. I think that's what we're going to do because the bottom of that thing, there's like some chlorine and stuff that I think it all settled into one spot. And so the bottom of it's all like looking like it's splitting and shit, and I'm like, it's probably trash anyway, So yeah, it's what I'm guessing I'm going to end up doing.
It's like $40.
Yeah, exactly. With the pump too. So, but that's cool. Fall is upon us. So
it is. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Especially for me.
Since our last podcast, I was lucky enough to go to the Kansas City Chiefs versus 49ers game.
Yeah.
And it was like 72 degrees and beautifully sunny.
Oh, that's nice.
It was awesome.
Yeah. And it looks like the Chiefs won. So rock and roll.
Undefeated.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I lived in Kansas City for 13 years. And they had so many seasons that were so disappointing. And it's like, now that I'm gone, the Chiefs and the Royals both kick ass,
Well, the Royals won a World Series a couple years ago.
Yeah. And they played horribly every season whenever I was up there. But now they're good.
I mean, I'm still a Chargers guy.
Right.
But I do support the Chiefs and their cause.
I've always liked the Chiefs. This was back when like Marty Schottenheimer was the coach, you know, and so this is a ways back. But yeah, it's all good. So there's that. I was gonna say something. Oh, it's nice outside for once, so that's nice. Yeah,
Really nice.
So Mike, after our little foray into Star Trek, it seems as though we are back to doing number one movies again. Back
I would say
at it.
thank goodness until I watched this week's number one.
Are we gonna spill the beans right now, or?
Well, we told at the end of last episode what movie it was.
Well, no, I mean like our opinion of it.
Of Antz?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dude, so when you told us that we were going to be watching Antz this week, I'm pretty sure I said, like, oh, I don't even think I need to watch it. I've seen that movie 100
You're
times.
like an expert on ants and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Wrong.
after we got done recording, I realized I'm thinking of A Bug's Life.
Yes. Because I'm pretty sure I've seen, before this week, saw this movie once and was like, not impressed at all, man. And I was only like 14 years old. So granted, I wasn't exactly the correct age range to really like, encapsulate this. But whenever Toy Story came out, even back then, I was 11 years old and I loved that movie, even back then.
Yeah.
And so
I'm almost 40 and still love a good animated film if it's good.
if it's good, yeah. And people are like, well, it's just intended for kids. And I'm like, you're full of shit. Because it doesn't have to be just a kid's movie. Like, kids can get into it and adults can get into it alike,
Yeah, like, was it Moana?
Moana, great movie.
Great
Yep.
movie. Really good
Yeah.
movie.
It's funny.
there was
It's
another
got a
one.
good story.
Yeah,
The
there was
music's
another
great.
one. There was another one that came out recently, or maybe a couple of years ago now. That was The Good Dinosaur.
Oh, that one was okay.
I liked
didn't
it.
love it, but it was all right. I did like Inside Out, the movie that came out that same year from Pixar.
Oh, that's a really good movie.
Great movie. Great movie. This, on the other hand, people that are like, man, they don't make animated movies like they used to. Go back and watch this fucking thing for reals, because this is fucking dog shit. Yo,
Yeah, it's a big piece of shit.
Yeah. This was apparently DreamWorks' first foray into animation. They already had the Prince of Egypt in their wheelhouse, which I think that's a pretty good movie, actually. But they had broken off and decided that they were going to release this one ahead of it.
Well,
And go ahead.
so one of the execs from Pixar went over to DreamWorks.
So what happened was there's a dude, Jeffrey Katzenberg. He was thinking that he was going to be made the head of Disney Animation Studios. And it wound up not happening. The CEO of Disney at the time, Michael Eisner, decided that he wasn't going to make him the head or the president of Disney Animation. And so he was like, fuck this shit. And he broke off with Steven Spielberg and another dude, and they formed DreamWorks, basically. And apparently John Lasseter, the guy that was the head of Pixar at the time, had told him about this bug movie that he had in mind or whatever. And he was like, well, that's pretty good. And he would ask him all these details and shit like that before he left. And then sure enough, here they are, a couple years down the road, and they're like, oh yeah, we're doing a bug movie too. And he's like, you just stole all my ideas. I don't give a fuck. Basically is his opinion.
Yeah, so Antz in A Bug's Life kicked off a long series of doing the same kind of movie around the same kind of time. Where often DreamWorks like rushes for the release date.
Right. Yes.
And completely drops the ball in the meantime.
Well, let's see. You've got Monsters versus Aliens, so you could make the argument that's Monsters Inc. So that's derivative of that work. We've got a Shark Tale, and we've got Finding Nemo. I don't know how they thought Shark Tale was going to stand up compared to that shit, because that was a disaster. What else we got? They're all over the place. DreamWorks has been doing this for years,
I'm trying to think. There was a movie that I swear was like almost shot for shot the same fucking movie. What movie am I thinking about?
Probably this.
No, not even close.
Oh
well.
That's a good question. People have even made the argument of like Monsters Inc. and Shrek, and like, you know, Shrek's a monster, and so Monsters Inc. kind of copied off of it, and they're both kind of meta and stuff like that, you know. And
Well,
so
Shrek and Monsters Inc. So Shrek was the first time where DreamWorks was able to make a bigger box office.
right, yeah.
Versus the Pixar movie, whatever movie they were coming out with.
It was Monsters Inc. that year.
Yeah, I watched a whole like Pixar versus DreamWorks on YouTube thing.
Oh yeah.
I think I mentioned the guys before, the Super Carlin brothers.
Yeah, George Carlin and his brother.
No,
Was it?
no, not the comedian.
No, not even close.
No. These guys they're like big in the Pixar universe, Harry Potter universe, and they like they break down different aspects of the different movies and different character arcs and stuff. And
Right.
I think they turned me on to that video of the DreamWorks versus Pixar thing. It was pretty
I
interesting.
got you. Yeah, I would say so. It is an interesting little tale of corporate espionage and all that shit. And yeah, it's nuts, man. I was watching it go, man, Jeffrey Katzenberg, he's a salty motherfucker, you know. Whatever, man.
Yeah.
So with this movie, you know, to go on record and say that this is a Woody Allen movie, that would be an injustice, because this movie had everybody in it, almost literally.
Yeah, there's a ton of voices I recognize. Let me see if I can name some of them for you.
Yeah, pick
So
some
obviously, Woody Allen plays Z.
Right.
Of course, Azteca is played by J-Lo.
Mm-hmm.
Weaver is played by Sylvester Stallone.
Right.
Mandible played by Gene Hackman.
Yep.
Hold on. Oh yeah, Chris. I talk about this guy all the time. I might not remember his name. He played. Damn it. You know who I'm thinking of?
Nope.
Christopher Walken.
Oh yeah. Christopher
He plays
Walken.
Cutter.
Right. Yes.
And even the Wasps, I recognize their voices. Oh God, the dude's fantastic. He's been in everything.
Everything.
Who
are
am
you
I
talking
think-
about?
Go ahead.
Well, I know that Dan Aykroyd had a part, but I don't know if that's who you're talking about, because I
No.
couldn't pick out the wasp names.
No, the two Wasps.
Yeah, that are at the Insectopia or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, what are
I know
they?
what you're talking about, but I couldn't tell you the name of the actors that played them.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I have no idea.
No, I have to look it up. I thought you had the cast there.
I do, but I pick out the big names. So while you're looking at it, one that you missed was Sharon Stone played Bala.
Oh, yep, Princess Bala.
Yep. Dan Aykroyd played Chip, but I don't remember that part in the movie.
Who is Chip?
I have no fucking clue.
Is
The
he
only
the little-
Chip I know of
Is he the worker ant, like boss?
maybe. I don't know. Was there an ant that sounded like he was from Chicago? Because that would make sense.
Oh, Danny Glover played Barbarous.
Yeah, Barbados or Barbados or
Barbados, yeah.
Yeah. One that I picked out here was who was it? John Mahoney. So Fraser's dad was apparently in the movie playing a drunk scout. So figured that out. Jane Curtin of Third Rock from the Sun and SNL and all that other stuff. She played a character named Muffy.
Yeah, she was the Wasp lady.
She was the Wasp. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I can't find the guy,
Yeah.
but he's been in
I have no
everything. Damn it.
Been in everything, including this piece of shit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who else did we have here? There's one I was looking at. Oh, Anne Bancroft. She actually stood out to me. If you've ever seen the movie The Graduate, she was Mrs. Robinson in that movie. Of course, that was way before this, but you know.
Yeah,
it's whatever.
Well, she's an Oscar award winner.
Oh yeah, she's big time, big deal. So, what did you think overall about the actual quality of the animation in this movie, Mike?
Dog shit.
Dude, you are 100% correct, man. It was really bad. Really, really rough looking.
The textures were terrible.
Man, so one thing I want to say here right off the bat is the characters in this, I think that they were going to try to like make the animated characters resemble their real life voice counterparts. And so like, you've got Sylvester Stallone's aunt that has like a chiseled jaw, you've got Woody Allen who plays Z in this movie. His dude kind of has like a big bulbous head and a very, not defined chin at all, and stuff like that. And so there's little bitty shit like that. But to me, I'm watching it going, oh, it's almost like watching Sylvester, like the offspring of Sylvester Stallone fucking an ant, It looks really bad.
Yeah, they didn't do well.
No. And there's very little detail, and it's all blurry looking for some reason. Even if you watch it in high definition, it just looks blurry,
And flat.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's really not impressive at all.
But how much money they spend making this piece of shit?
It was made on a budget of $105 million.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm dead serious, man.
The most expensive movie budget of 1998?
No, that's still Lethal Weapon 4.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that I can figure is that they poured a bunch of money into this because they were rushing it, and so it probably cost a lot and looked very shitty in the meantime. So this came out October 2nd, 1998. So excited we're in October, by the way, but we'll elaborate on that later. Do you dare to guess how many weeks this was number one at the box office? I'm surprised it was 1 week, but yeah, go ahead.
1? 2?
It was actually 2 weeks, yeah.
Was it?
Go figure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea about its overall domestic box office take?
No, I mean, I know I'm going to be surprised, so go ahead.
It was $90,757,000, so it didn't make its budget back.
I was going to guess that, but I've been wrong every time I've guessed that.
Fair enough. On the other hand, if we take a look, A Bug's Life came out, about a month and a half-ish after this, and it was made for about $15 million more. But, oh my God, that movie looks so much better than this, I'm not going to lie about that.
Yep.
While I'm watching this, though, the one thing that perplexed me is why would all these big-name actors be in this shitty movie?
It must have been getting paid. It's the only thing I could think of.
Paying out the ass, yeah. Mm-hmm. It must have paid really well. So, I don't know. I don't get it. Overall, I'm almost tempted to go through and discuss, a bunch of comparison stuff between this and A Bug's Life. And we may have to go ahead and do it now because the last time we were going to do that was with Armageddon, and we didn't mention it at all when comparing it to Deep Impact. So I'm probably going to bring up some stuff to compare it, but that's okay.
Okay.
Do you have any... I'm not even going to go into the actors or the writers and directors and who wrote the score because I really could not care less. So, do you want to go ahead and talk about this thing, or
let's get it over with?
Okay.
I feel like we've already said enough.
Yeah, I'm kind of good.
Thanks for listening, y'all.
Right. Yeah. I'm not going to go too much into detail with this thing. I know that like last week was like an info dump in regard to Star Trek. And that ain't what y'all are getting this week. So, because frankly, I don't care. Let me ask you this. Did you like this more or less than Star Trek First Contact?
I mean, they both sucked.
Fair enough.
Pretty similar story, actually.
Oh, not even close.
Yeah, General Mandible represents the Borg.
Maybe the eradication of a civilization, but that's about it.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard is Z.
Bala is Lily.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime, we've got Commander Riker, who's back on the Enterprise. So I guess you can make the argument that fucking Sylvester Stallone, he's still back at the colony, so he's like the Riker of the movie.
Right.
Like, oh god,
I can't believe you didn't notice all the similarities when you were watching it.
That's very superficial, but yeah. Nobody meets any Vulcans in this fucking thing, so obviously.
And that's represented by the tennis shoe, the Reebok. First contact.
First contact. They do meet an alien life form. And I've got to say, in that, the Reebok thing, if the animation had been better, I really could have gotten into that scene. But I'm watching it the whole time going, this is just awful, bro, you know? And so, like, I really couldn't even enjoy that for what they were trying to get across with it, you know? So.
Yeah, I was watching this with Farrah this morning, and she was watching it, and she was kind of into it, actually. But she's 5, so, you know.
Right. I was trying to watch this with Madeline, and she thought that the characters looked scary, and she didn't.
Oh, really?
I was like, they do look scary, dear.
That's funny. I was watching it with Farrah, and she was into it, like I said, but I was sitting there like completely spaced out.
Yeah.
I was like, what did they just do? What just happened? Huh? Oh, I should write this down.
Right. It's funny because we mentioned last week we're getting 6 Point beer, and you can actually go to the liquor store and find 6 Point beer, even though it's not October 1st yet, even though it will be by the time you guys hear this. And so I went through. My wife had picked up some of those beers at the liquor store, and I was maybe 3 or 4 deep, you know, feeling pretty good because I drank them pretty fast, you know. And the next thing I know is I sit down to watch this movie. By the end of it, I was so beyond giving a shit about any of this shit, you know. I was trying to keep myself awake, you know, and just the end of it, there's more of an anticlimax than there is anything else, you know, and you're just like, what the
And this
fuck?
is one of the shortest movies we've ever talked about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's an hour,
it is.
20-minute runtime.
It is a short watch to get through, but it seems longer than that, though.
It sure
I think.
felt like a 3-hour marathon.
The only creative thing that I think is in the movie is at the very beginning, where it shows like what looks like to be a cityscape. It looks like the buildings and whatnot. But whenever the light shines on it, you actually see that it's blades of grass. I saw that and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, actually. And then it's all downhill from here. That one shot in the movie I thought was cool.
Making the movie, I would like to imagine they took about 6 months to make this movie, and they spent a month probably in that first scene. And they're like, we're not going to get done in time. We got to hurry up.
That's like when we're doing the podcast and you look and we've already been talking for like an hour 45 and we're like halfway through the movie. Yo, wrap it up, B. Come on, you know.
Let's get this done.
Right. We hear this voiceover from the stupid character Z. He talks about how he's always lived in the big city and how there's
immediately unmistakable is Woody Allen.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess apparently he had like final script decisions on this.
Oh,
I was like, wow, I thought that dude was supposed to be funny, but whatever. He talks about how there's too many people, it's claustrophobic, he thinks too much, and I guess he had an anxious childhood. His dad left at an early age.
He flew away when he was a larva.
Yeah. What did he say? He had 5 million brothers and sisters.
He's the middle.
That's so fucking creative. I almost died. So
he had
I
issues.
guess he's right.
His issue was being an ant, is what his issue was.
Right. Yeah. Whatever.
Because he just described like what ants do, and it's not for him.
Which I don't even technically think at this point that we know he's an ant, but we soon find out. But, obviously, yeah, because it doesn't show his face up front. It's just him talking. But and then like it shows him in a second. But what's crazy though is that I don't know why they would hold off the reveal like something like that, because you've already seen the trailer and the movie's called fucking Antz. So I don't know, what the point is, but he talks about how he has abandonment issues after his dad left. He hates his job. It's not rewarding.
He's never been able to lift more than 10 times his body weight.
Har, har, har. So hilarious. And I just wrote down hideous animation because right up front, this looks awful, dude. It almost looks like extraterrestrials or something, I want to say. Giving these ants these facial features is just unsettling at best, you know? I think it looks awful. Horrible.
Doesn't work.
No, not even close. And then he says, what about my needs? And he said he feels insignificant. His therapist's like, yeah, you are. And then it cuts to the inside of this anthill.
The colony.
I call bullshit on this thing, dude. Because, like, at least in, like, A Bug's Life, you know, whenever we do see the inside, it's just tunnels and stuff like you would expect in an anthill or if you had an ant farm or something like that. In this, it's this big, wide open space, and there's these motherfuckers running around. We've got this big-ass disco ball throne room in the middle of this underground bullshit, you know? This is nothing like an anthill, you know? I don't know what they're trying to get across, but...
I don't know. I kind of like a B movie's a method of attacking the interior of an insect colony.
Yeah.
Like a B movie, like totally made up everything.
Right. I can see that too.
I like that better.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. You can make it anthropomorphic and still be true to what an anthill would be in real life, you know, an ant colony, but... Golly, man, I don't know. Because it seems like Bug's Life hit a good balance, you know. Whenever they'd go to a bar, there'd be a mosquito, and he would ask for, you know, blood O positive, you know. But they'd make little jokes about bug zappers, you know, and shit like that. And the ladybug is a dude, actually, you know, but people still pick on him because they think he's a lady, you know. And stuff like that I could get. But this doesn't have anything to do with ant stuff, really, to me at all, you know.
No, it doesn't.
Except there's workers and there's warriors, and that's it.
Soldiers.
You know? Right. Yeah.
Soldier ants and worker ants.
Mm-hmm.
They get their job assignment when they're like babies.
Right. Yes. From an early age.
Based on I don't know.
I have no idea.
The babies look the same.
They do. And it shows the soldier ants, and like later on they're like big strapping dudes, and the workers are, you know, the more petite of the two different types. But I don't get how you could tell from looking at a larva, you know, what one's supposed to be. So I don't get it. Anyway, Z's apparently trying to stay positive. He has a coworker that works with him named Azteca, played by J-Lo, as we mentioned, and she just tells him...
Where did they come up with the names for these people?
Man, I don't know.
Well,
I
like
have no idea.
Weaver, Cutter, Mandible, those all make sense.
Right.
But Azteca and Z.
Well, so Z is supposed to be his number. He's like Z1495 or some shit. Like he's just a drone ant in this thing, you know?
Oh.
But so why does he go by Z if he just has like a number designation, but she's called Azteca, you know? I don't get it. Yeah, I think of like a Pontiac Aztec or some shit. Like
Walter one of the worst cars ever made.
Oh, one of the ugliest fucking cars ever made, too. And if you drive an Aztec, I don't give a shit because you have horrible tasting cars. So if you're listening right now.
There's no more like running anymore, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, they stopped making that shit. They realized they fucked up. So she says that what Z is doing is good for the group after he bitches at her for a while. By the way, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that this Z character, his incessant bitching really gets on my fucking nerves, too. He won't ever shut the fuck up and do his job, you know. All he does is complain.
Woody Allen does.
Well, that's true, too. That's a valid point. And he probably did write some of the script on that shit.
He built a whole career around being that guy.
Right? What's crazy to me is even though this movie didn't do very well at the box office, and Woody Allen seems to have had a pretty lucrative career. I'm not like a huge Woody Allen fan, but obviously I know who he is and stuff like that. This apparently was like his highest grossing movie. And I was like, really? He was that popular, but none of his stuff ever really like stuck the landing, it seems like, you know. I don't get it. It's weird, man.
Mm-hmm. Fucked his stepdaughter. Married her.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So you, but in my world, that's fucking weird.
That's pretty strange, bro. It's
immoral.
Strange.
A little disgusting.
It's pretty twisted.
Yeah.
Pretty twisted. I'd forgotten all about that fucking deal until you just mentioned it, actually.
What?
So, Yeah.
You say Woody Allen, that's immediately where my brain
That's
goes.
all you think about?
Yeah.
The only other thing I can think along those lines is like the whole Jerry Lee Lewis thing, you know, where he married his fucking cousin and shit.
It was his cousin, and she was a minor. She was like his second or third cousin. And
Yeah, wasn't she like 15 or some shit?
Yeah, but back in the day, that was just more accepted. This dude raised her from a little girl.
Right. Pretty twisted, bro.
Yeah.
So Z gets put on this crew where they have to be a wrecking ball because apparently the ants are building a tunnel.
Yeah.
This is so fucking dumb. But I will say, compared to the rest of the animation in the movie, the wrecking ball thing doesn't look that bad. But that's because I think we don't get a lot of ant, like the detail on the ants. And so, like, all you see is just ants forming a wrecking ball.
Stupid.
Oh, it's dumb.
He
Really
just said
dumb.
that he's like one of the weakest ants he knows. Then why is he one of the ants in the
Right.
chain?
Well, if he can't lift more than 10 times his weight, how is he supposed to hold on to this giant
Thousands.
wrecking with thousands of ants on it? Yeah, I don't get it. Plus, I hate to break it to you, but throwing a shitload of ants at a fucking piece of rock ain't gonna take down a piece of rock. All you're gonna get is smashed ants, bro. But, you know, if a rock can withstand my shoe and an ant cannot, I promise you that the rock can withstand a fucking like a big ass wrecking ball made of ants. So, but anyway,
I can't believe you thought about that part.
right? Putting
That's
a
where
little,
your brain went.
right? Yeah. Of all the bullshit in this movie, that's the one that got me hung up.
Can't break no rocks with a wrecking ball full of ants. This is preposterous.
Wait, this movie sucks. Yeah.
Those ants have pickaxes. What the hell?
What a load of bullshit. Yeah, exactly. So apparently these ants all have to get together. They form a sphere, which how they would even know what a fucking wrecking ball is, I have no idea. But anyway, they have to go through and they form a perfect sphere, if you will. Z is one of the ants that's holding this wrecking ball in place.
He's in the chain.
Yes, hanging it from, they never show where, I guess the ceiling. And so he winds up letting go, drops the ball. There goes the wrecking ball. Who knows how many of his buddies died? Probably his brothers and sisters, since he has 5 fucking million of them.
I don't know. They never say. They just go Z.
Right. Oh, you did it again. Well, if he's done this before, why do you keep putting him up there? It's part of the chain, dumbass. But so we see where this dude, General Mandible, he's like overlooking this chaos that Z has caused. And he talks about that all the workers have to like report to him. Is it some shit?
Yeah,
I don't know.
care.
Yeah, he's being a dick, basically.
Gives them 4 days to complete the tunnel.
Right.
Next.
And then we find out that the termite colony has mobilized against the ant colony. And General Mandible tells the queen that he wants to declare war on the termites. And the queen, negligent, she agrees after a little coercion. Well, I was going to use another, I guess, hesitates. Negligent. I don't know what word I was thinking of. It was something. But no, she hesitates for a little bit, but then she like acquiesces to General Mandible. And then we see Princess Bala, and I guess she's engaged to General Mandible.
Yep.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to be.
No, she starts bitching about that. There's a lot of bitching going on in this fucking thing.
Her mom says she has to do it.
Right. I don't know why.
Me neither.
Because don't all the ants fuck the queen, pretty much?
I don't know how reproduction in Antvale goes down, bro.
Yeah, I'm no entomologist or anything, but whatever. Apparently Bala envies the R&R that the workers get. And then we see where they go to a bar, Z does with this buddy Weaver, which is Sylvester Stallone.
Coolest ant in the colony.
I'm sorry?
He's the coolest ant in the colony.
Oh, yeah, by far. And one thing I like about this dude is he's pretty much the antithesis of Z. I don't know why they even get along, but even later on in the movie when we see him being a worker, because he loves being a soldier, and we see him doing worker stuff. He loves doing that shit, and he's just upbeat about everything. Really gets a lot of gratification out of his job, and stuff. Like, that's a good thing to aspire to, enjoying what you do, So, but anyway,
they're drinking from aphid anus.
Yeah, really weird stuff, man.
I said aphid anus.
Aphid anus. And he even says, I don't enjoy drinking out of another animal's anus or whatever. I don't know if ants actually eat aphids or not, but I don't think they do.
No, they just drink the beer out of their butts.
Right. That's ant alcohol. Got that 6 point.
The drunk scout is the guy who tells us about Insectopia.
Oh, okay.
Who was that? Dan Aykroyd?
No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd. No?
No.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't. He's Chip.
It's
the dad from Frasier.
Oh, John Mahoney. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one with the cane in Frasier, yeah. Even though he doesn't have a limp in real life. But I think he just died recently, actually.
Oh,
Sucks.
no. That's sad.
So, there's a stranger. He's drunk at the bar. He's telling Z about Insectopia. It's a better place, apparently, where you can do whatever you want. Z doesn't like being, just a piece of this machinery. And he's like, you should try to check it out, man. There's some cool shit up there. And he says that he actually saw it. And then, all of a sudden, these ants grab him up and take him out of the bar. So, there's that.
Speaking about dead celebrities, have we talked about Burt Reynolds?
I don't think so. But damn it, I don't think I'm ready to live in a world without Burt Reynolds in it. I love that dude.
He's gone, man.
I know. It's a damn shame, too. I like Burt.
How do you think he fucked all of the women in Hollywood when he was big time in the 70s? All of them?
As long as he got down with Sally Field, I think that counts. That's good enough for me.
Well, you cut it down from all to one. Now you are talking about Sally Field in her prime.
She was a smoke show back in Smokey and the Bandit days, bro.
Oh yeah.
But
Bye, Bert.
I'm trying to think. Hopefully he didn't fuck that kid from Cop and a Half.
What? Shame.
That's such a dumbass movie anyway. It's retarded. Just think if he got down with half of the cast of Boogie Nights. It'd be pretty legit.
Oh, he regretted doing that movie?
Yeah, I heard about that. And I guess
he was great in that movie.
Yeah, apparently he thought it was going to ruin his career, and then he got an Oscar for it. So go figure that one out. So whatever. I guess the editing room is magic. But anyway, back to this.
Do we have to?
Right.
Oh,
so
ahead,
the drunk guy tells Z that Insectopia, it's across the lake. Head toward the monolith. It's the land of red and white. So whatever.
I don't know. 6:15 dance time.
Oh God, this whole dance sequence, because they're all dancing in file with the same dance moves going on, perfectly synchronized. Dancing. Yeah. But the music that they're playing is really just kind of bizarre sounding stuff, and the animation is so bad that I almost felt like I was having a fever dream whenever this whole dance sequence was going on. This is making me uncomfortable, man. I can't watch this shit.
Z's not dancing.
No, he didn't want to.
But Princess Bala decides she's gonna go slumming.
Right.
And she comes down to the worker bar and asks Z for a dance.
Right.
They dance. He can't dance. Turns into a bar fight.
Right, basically. Well, he starts making up his own dance. And, some soldier ants want to try to beat up Z, and then, Weaver stops him. And then it's right after that the, Princess Bala, threatens him, and so he actually finds out who the woman is that he was dancing with was the princess. So there's that, I guess.
Next day at work, he's in love.
Right. Basically, we're getting the plot to Aladdin up to this point. So... Anyway, next day at work, yeah, he's feeling great about himself. Because he thinks the princess really likes him or whatever. He goes back to the bar that night and waits for her, but she doesn't come.
This is such a chore.
Oh, man, this was a hard one to get through, brother. So he decides there's this thing.
Weaver to switch places with him.
Right. They find out about this royal review. And so Weaver switches spots with him so that he can see the princess again, because it's his only way into the palace. What happens here?
He marches in with the soldiers and doesn't know what the fuck is going on, obviously.
Yeah.
And then Danny Glover, talks him up.
Right. General Mandible actually announces, once they're in formation there, that he's sending the soldiers into battle. And that's when Z's like, oh, fuck, I done messed up, Aaron. Mm-hmm. So Z's, not paying attention, and he's making jokes to this Barbados dude, the Danny Glover ant. And apparently Z's unit is the first to go into battle. It's right after that the ants storm the termite village, which this should have been a cool scene.
Termite ambush.
Yeah. I guess apparently there have been obviously instances like this happen in nature where ants and termites battle it out, but the ants so far outnumber the termites lose their ass every time, which is crazy to think about. But
do they really shoot acid out of their heads?
I don't know about that shit, man.
They do in this one.
Yeah, they do. I know why you don't want termites in your house. You're watching TV and then acid hits your arm. What the fuck?
Yeah, they have so the ants are what's the word I'm looking for?
Stupid.
Stupid. No, they're human.
They're yeah. Well, they're anthropomorphic.
Yeah, I know, but they have a language and they fucking walk and talk and they have weapons and wear helmets and shit. And the termites they just show is these big grizzly bear things. Right. Yeah, the ants are personified. The termites are not. It almost was like watching a really crappy version of Starship Troopers, if you will. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but really shitty. And they all flank to this one spot in the middle of the termite village, but all the termites are gone. And then all of a sudden the termites come in behind them and just start whipping that ass. Everybody dies. At one point Barbados saves Z. And then we see where Weaver's at work and he's having a great time. He loves digging. He gets to talking to Azteca and they set up a date. They're going to go out after work, whatever. Which, let me ask you this. So if the queen of the ant colony is the breeder, I don't think other ants mate, do they? Besides the queen? Dude, I don't know. You keep asking me these questions about mating habits of an ant. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'll check it out later. Yeah, why don't you do a Google search and let me know, bro? Right, yeah. I'll keep you guys posted next week. Appreciate you. Whatever. Z surveys the battlefield. This scene really made me uncomfortable, where we get Barbados's disembodied head that's still talking and blinking and shit. Yeah, and breathing. What the fuck is that, man? I was watching this movie. I did a double take, yo, I'm a little too tipsy to be taking all this in right now, brother. I can't fucking do it. Pharaoh was why is it just him's head? Right? At first I was watching oh man, I can't believe that they buried all but this dude's head. And then I was oh my god, that's just his head talking. I think I'm gonna fucking be sick, He as he help him up and he picks up his head. Yeah, that's something out of a horror movie, dude. What the fuck, man? This I can't feel my legs. Yeah. You ain't got no legs, Bubba. His little nubs is just a kicking. Oh my god, talk about weird, dude. This movie's fucking weird. That's the best way to describe it. The animation's weird, the movie's weird, the story's weird. It's weird there's all these actors in this fucking thing. That is basically describes the whole thing right there. It sucks. I feel all these big time actors were we got to get on this animation kick before we lose our shot.
Right. And that was the thing is I think they saw Toy Story money and they're like, dude, sign me up. I don't care what the fuck it is, you know? Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah, what's his fucking name? Tom Hanks and
Tim Allen.
Yeah, Tim Allen, got huge checks from this Toy Story franchise. Let's get in on this shit.
Right. We got Tim Allen and then Woody Allen. Two opposite ends of the spectrum there. You know, and it's funny, too, because the first Ice Age came out right after this, and even the actors were like, I don't think so. Ray Romano's like, yeah, I'll do that shit. Everybody else is, no, I'm good.
Damn, I can't speak. Ray Romano, John Leguizamo, and fucking smokes 3 packs a day guy.
Yeah, Dennis Leary.
Yeah, Dennis Leary, yeah.
3 packs a day. Dude, his stand-up's great. I love that dude.
Apparently he's a big joke thief.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. In fact, the whole asshole song, apparently he stole that shit. But whatever. So General Mandible gets a report that the termites are all dead, but only one ant survived. And by the time Z makes it back to talk to the general, there's been this gathering that's kind of formed outside of this ant palace, which doesn't exist. That's not a thing.
The queen wants to see him.
Right. So Weaver thinks that after he hears that all the ants died except one, he's pretty sure that Z was dead. But
why would you not be confident that he was?
Because he sucks at everything, so why would he be good at soldiering?
No, that's what I'm saying. I would be confident.
Oh, yeah, no.
Dead, yeah.
Right, yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, this guy's awful at everything he does. Except bitch. He's really good at that. So Z's taken to meet the queen. He takes he sees Princess Bala, and all of a sudden he takes all this credit for the battle, how they're able to defeat the termites and he survived and shit. And then so Princess Bala, she's like, oh, you're the dude from the bar, and he wasn't a soldier yesterday, but I guess he's a soldier today, you know.
She outs him, dude.
Yeah, inadvertently. She didn't suspect anything was up with this dude at all, but whatever.
So he takes her hostage.
Yeah, Mandible orders that they arrest Z, and he ends up taking Princess Bala hostage. He accidentally takes her hostage. I don't know. I blinked and missed that part. I think he was standing behind her or something.
And she just starts slapping the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. Then they fall down a trash chute.
Mm-hmm. So they send a couple dudes to go rescue Princess Bala, but then this giant ass magnifying glass burns all the guys that are sent to rescue her.
The best part of the movie.
I think that's kind of cool too. I ain't gonna lie about that. Even though the animation once again looks like shit, it's kind of a cool idea to have that incorporated.
So. It was just cool to watch these fucking ants get vaporized.
Right, because they didn't know what it was at first, and they're like, "Oh my god, what is that?" You know, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they burst into flames. That's pretty crazy. And if humans did that, that would really fuck me up, dude. So, let's see. Bala and Z escape from the magnifying glass, but they're completely lost now. And then
stupid banter.
Yeah, she says she was slumming it, and that's why she danced with them. Z climbs up this plant at one point, and he sees the quote-unquote monolith. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I'm going that fucking way.
Bird bath.
Yeah. So General Mandible sends more guys to rescue Princess Bala. And I guess word about Z starts circulating and around the ant colony, and the ants decide they don't have to do as they're told anymore.
Yeah, they quit working.
Can forge their own path, if you will.
Yep.
What does a monolith actually look like? Because when I think of monolith, I think of 2001: A Space Odyssey, but it's just a big ass rectangle. Is it just a large fucking thing that sticks up into the sky, or what exactly? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of things can be a monolith. I think
a space needle or some shit.
Yeah, Statue of Liberty.
Gotcha.
The Eiffel Tower. Big structures that stand out.
Because if somebody told me to look for a monolith, I mean, we got some decently sized buildings, here in the city. Finding one wouldn't be too difficult.
I'm going to look up the definition for you.
All right, that works. While you do that, apparently Princess Bala was scared by a praying mantis, and so she originally wasn't going to go with Z, but then she goes with him afterward.
A large single upright block of stone, especially one shaped into serving as a pillar or monument. So it has to be stone.
Oh, so this wasn't even a monolith. Great.
No. The first example that comes up is Monolith from Space Odyssey.
Yep, 2001. That's the one I always think of. But basically, Z and Bala find water at the monolith. And there's some bullshit here. Yeah. I mean, there's this whole thing where a water drop like falls and Z gets trapped in a droplet. And then like Bala saves him.
Funny.
It's just there to burn up screen time, I think.
Dude, at this point in the movie, I was like, oh, God.
I so don't give two shits about any of this fucking shit, you know?
Can we just please hurry up and get the fuck to Insectopia? I'm kind of curious to what it is.
Right. It was about this time I was hitting the pause button on the Netflix, like, how much more of this fucking dog shit is there to wade through, you know? We're only, like, I don't even think we're halfway through the movie at this point, but it's so short, you know? Like, can't really be mad at it either. But, so Z says that if they don't find Insectopia, he's going to take Bala back. And at the colony, the worker ants are calling out and demanding Z.
Yeah, we want Z.
I don't know what they want exactly.
They want him to be their leader.
Well, they've been talking about him, but obviously he left. You would think the word about that would have circulated too. Like, he kidnapped the princess and then took off. Like, they know so much about this dude, but they don't know that he's not there anymore.
I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
so,
you want me to get into, like, I think what they're attempting to do in this movie here is to show about how Americans can form political opinions based off of one story. And they lead blindly without even really knowing who the leader might be. You think that's what they're trying to do?
You could make that argument.
No,
you
they
could
weren't trying to do that. I made that up.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fair. I was gonna say that I think
there's no morals of the story in this one, buddy.
Well, I was gonna say I think that they might be making some sort of social commentary about, you know, people that work day in and day out, and aside from going to work and sustaining themselves so that they can continue to work, that they really serve no other purpose in life, and they don't really ever have the opportunity to like etch their own way, you know, to kind of break off and do their own thing. But I mean, I don't think that really applies either to the human situation, because we're not all like diggers, so people can do different stuff, you know, based upon their interests in society. So I mean,
I'm a soldier ant.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, you're the Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah,
except you're ginger as fuck.
That's true.
Yeah, otherwise you're exactly the same though. And you're not Italian.
Yeah, no, not rich.
No, not rich.
I'm not 70 and jacked.
Dude, what's up? So, Sylvester
What's
Stallone's...
up with that? What are you really going to ask me that question?
Well, so Sylvester Stallone, his face gets more fucked up every time I see him. But
Steroids.
that dude, I guess so.
Plastic
but
surgery.
He's still got the fucking, like, the guns, and, like, that dude could, even though he's 70, would beat the shit out of me right now.
Nah.
You know? Like, I guarantee. Guarantee.
I don't know. He's on steroids, bro.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
A lot of facial reconstructive surgery.
Mickey Rourke, I believe, was on him at one point too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he still is, but his face is fucked up looking too. It looks like a biscuit you left in the oven too long.
Well, that's a lot of bad plastic surgery.
Oh God, yeah. That's before he got all that fucking like Sin City money and shit.
He was great in The Wrestler.
Oh, fantastic. That's a great movie all around. So, but General Mandible talks to the workers. He says that Z had abandoned them, and that General Mandible decides that he's going to give them the day off for the tunnel dedication ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because ants need a fucking day off in real life. That makes perfect sense.
And they're ecstatic. They completely forgot what they were just asking for a second ago.
Right. Oh, day. Ah, fuck. You know, that's like, what is it on Office Space where the boss, he's telling him that like Friday is Hawaiian shirt day, and he expects him to be like super pumped about it. So who gives a fuck? I don't care about Hawaiian shirt day. Fucking corporate bullshit. So Z and Bala find a picnic. There's some pretty blatant product placement here.
Pepsi.
Yeah, Pepsi, Mountain Dew are both like framed perfectly so you can see the entire brand name in there. We get some Reebok shit here in a little bit.
Okay, so these wasps. I want to talk about these wasps.
Yes.
Okay. I think they're wasps because they're white Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
Oh, that would make sense. They do act very white.
No, they're real white. And
Yeah.
like, you know how Muffy, the wife, she needs to like, I always have to help these people.
Oh, okay. So she's like a whole different caste of society. She doesn't
She's a
want to help
wasp.
people. Yeah, I got you.
And
Yep.
I'm telling you, you know the guy, Jonathan Lithgow? Was that his name?
John
From
John
Rock-
Lithgow from Third Rock. Yeah,
Third Rock from the Sun, and he did a season of Dexter.
he was the Trinity Killer.
Yeah. He's the voice of the male moth.
Oh, is he? Mm-hmm. So is him and Jane Curtin both
Mm-hmm.
from Third Rock? Huh. It's a pretty good cast actually. So.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
She's not in the film very long.
No, she's not. Whenever they were like, "Oh shit, there's some wasps," I was like, "Oh fuck, some action's about to go down." Because wasp and ants, I wouldn't think would cohabitate very well at all. But they're like, "Oh, let's help these poor people," and I'm like, "Well, never mind. We'll just forget there could be some cool shit going on, but whatever." The ants, they can't get to the food because it's all in like sandwich bags and shit. And then there's a fly swatter comes out of nowhere and kills the wife wasp.
Muffy.
And yeah, Muffy. That's my Muffy. Bala gets stuck on a shoe that's walking by.
The shoe steps on her.
Right. And she gets stuck in the gum that's on the underneath side of it. Mm-hmm. And that's when we get this whole action scene because Z's like on the other shoe and like
He's riding
takes
the
a
lace.
step and like passes him. Yeah. And so it's basically kind of ebbs and flows, but he's trying to catch up to her. When he finally does, he gets stuck in the gum as well. And then all of a sudden you see this person like grab a penny and scrape the gum off their shoe and fling it off into the trash. So
this is the first time I've noticed that I guess they've been kind of cussing in this movie. I mean, hell's not a cuss word, but
it's kind of strong for like a
kids
movie.
yeah. And Z's like, who the hell is that? When he sees Abraham Lincoln on the penny.
Right. Yeah.
And then, but I've never seen anyone just stop walking, grab a penny, scrape off gum off the bottom of their shoe and chuck it. I've never seen that happen in my life.
Right. Well, especially if you're walking out in the grass, because you're not really sticking to anything. If I was on the sidewalk and my shoe, I can kind of feel it pull back. I'd look down and be like, oh fuck, and then I might do something about it, or maybe just wouldn't give a fuck. But if I'm walking in the grass where there's going to be dirt and shit all over this fucking gum, so it's not really sticking to anything, I don't give a fuck about that. You know, like I'm probably not even going to notice it's there. You know.
And then or used a penny, although a penny's not a bad idea.
It's not. No, I would accept that. But I'd find a stick, maybe or a rock or something,
Right.
you know. But a penny, that's not outside of the realm of possibility. Pennies are worthless.
And then he just chucks them over there to where they want to be.
Yeah. Insectopia. So, by the way, pennies are an economy suck. Just saying. Apparently, it takes more money to create a penny than it's actually worth. I'm like, why do we even still make that fucking shit, you know? But I don't know. If I see a penny laying on the fucking floor, I don't even bother picking it up, though. What am I going to do? Do that 100 times and maybe have $1? Fuck off, you know?
I think everything should be just nice round dollars.
I can see that. I mean, they pretty much do that anyway. They're like, it's $1.99. Okay, why don't you just say $2? Everybody just put in $2, you know? Fuck it. Let's call it good.
Well, $1.99 comes out to $2.17.
Well, I was about to say, let's incorporate tax in there too, so that I know what I'm actually paying. You know?
So let's just do $2. You give $2, you walk away.
Right.
The tax is built in.
Right. I'm down for that. But fuck it. I guess we're stupid here.
I'm running on changing currency policy next election cycle.
There you go. You're finally at that age where you can run. You have to be like 35, so
Yeah.
it's the only thing holding you back.
Vote for Mike. He'll get rid of the penny.
Get rid of the penny. I would vote for that.
That's my whole platform. That's a pretty weak ass platform.
It is. No wall. Nope. Just that penny's
we're
pissing
definitely
me
not
off.
building a wall. Fuck that. We could save a lot of money without that wall.
Mike's like, nope, that damn penny. That's the fucking ointment fly scenario.
So, have you seen the models for the wall that are down on the border?
I've seen some crazy looking shit.
They put up like 4 or 6 different examples of possible wall designs.
Yeah.
And it costed something like $100 million to build each one of these sections.
Mm-hmm. What are they, like 50 feet or some shit?
They're pretty big. But I think that they should... I don't agree with building a wall across the border. So I think they should leave those sections of examples there. And, right, we were this stupid once on the walls.
You know, people talk about like, well, you know, this is going to save us so much money illegal immigration wise. And I'm like, maybe if it wasn't the government doing it, but the government doesn't do anything cheap, you know. That's the whole thing about it.
No, man, it's simple. We should just make the legal immigration process easier.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You know, a small background check, put your application in, come on over.
Good. Yeah. Get it. Come over here. Start working. Start paying them taxes.
Yeah, get a job.
Yeah.
No problem. We got you.
Yeah.
It's not your fault you were born on the other side of that imaginary line.
Right. Well, and that's something I think about too. Is so the only difference between some of these people and myself is the fact that I was born here. I didn't do anything to become a nationalized citizen.
No, that is the only difference, Shane.
Right. Yeah.
Your ass
It's
was born
true.
in this pot of dirt. That's it.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, so we get another weird scene here where they're literally torturing Weaver and like beating him.
Yeah. He's got
so
like
that they
marks
can-
on his face. He looks like Rocky.
Yeah, but man, what all are we gonna put in this kids movie? You know, they're cussing, they're beating people, you know, they're drinking from ants' butts or aphids' butts or whatever.
Anuses.
Yeah,
And then
it's getting bizarre, man.
They bring Azteca in the room to get Weaver to talk, and she says, "Don't tell that tight ass anything."
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, well, "Okay, we're officially there."
Right? Yeah, we've crossed over, I guess. You know,
And of course, for most movies I watch, that's really harmful or harmless language.
well, yeah.
But you just wouldn't expect to see it in a kids movie.
You don't. Well, especially considering that the only major, you know, CGI cartoon at this point was Toy Story, which really timid, you know, as far as its content goes, you know. And so putting this up next to that, you're just like, golly, dude, why don't you all chill the fuck out, you know? But whatever. So Weaver winds up cracking. He says that they're going to Insectopia. And General Mandible orders Z's death. Says that he knows about Insectopia, like its whereabouts and that it does exist and shit. Which obviously they're going to kill him. What were they going to do when they found him before? Whatever. Weaver apparently is being put out on the front line now. He's going to be like the first person to like the head of this digging crew, I guess. Which they really still haven't got into what General Mandible's plan is for this whole fucking thing.
We start to see pieces of it here.
Little bits, yeah. Z and Bala claim that this trash heap they're on is Insectopia, and we go through this whole montage of them enjoying themselves. They're like riding an ant through an apple, or riding a worm through an apple, I mean.
Like it's a roller coaster.
Yeah. I tuned out during this shit. I really didn't give a fuck. They do stuff, we'll say. So
Yeah, they enjoyed the sunset over a pond of motor oil.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool to see, just because all the different colors.
Oh, I got you. The rainbow effect.
Yeah, it's kind of neat looking. If I was like a little dude and I saw that, I'd be like, "Wow, that's really pretty, actually." So, rock and roll. So General Mandible has a plan that he's unveiling. I said, and that's all I wrote down. I guess that was a short scene. Z and Bala, they get to talking to each other, and while Z goes to get more wood for this fire that's going,
this is another ham-fisted joke in there, where there's 3 bugs of undistinguishable makeup are sitting like against something, and one bug goes, "Oh, this tastes like crap," and he hands it to another bug, and the bug takes a bite of it, and goes, "It is crap, pretty good."
Yeah. He's a dung beetle.
Oh, is that what that was he supposed to be?
I would suppose so. Or else he's a fly and they eat shit.
So I think he's a fly. He's got like a sucker face to him. Yeah.
Because, that's not low-hanging fruit or anything. So, anyway, after Cutter shows up, the Christopher Walken, I gotta say, I actually kind of like Christopher Walken in this movie. Because his character... he's downplayed a little bit more than he usually is, So it's kind of different.
With he's like, I'm looking for a girl by the name of Bala.
For a girl looking, her name is Bala.
Yeah,
trick or treat.
Yeah, but he's like, she's an ant and pretty easy on the eyes. Has anyone seen her? And then everybody just points right at her.
That was kind of funny. There was no like. I am, oh God, what was it? I am Spartacus moment or anything. They just rat her the fuck out quick. Yeah. Yeah. That was kind of amusing because she's trying to
right behind you.
Yeah. She's trying to sneak off and they're like, no, there she is. We don't want no trouble. So, Z requisitions the Wasp whose wife was killed. Drunk. Yeah. So now we've got.
I'll give you a ride.
Right, we've got drinking mixed into this beating and profane kids movie. Now we've got alcohol abuse thrown in there.
And drunk driving.
And drunk driving, yep. He's getting a DUI, you bet. So, because that was funny back in 1998. It wasn't until recently the DUI stopped being funny, apparently. So
yeah, it was right around like 2013 they lost their charm,
Yeah, it used to be a thing. Not anymore, though. Kind of like AIDS, if you will. It just recently started being funny, so.
AIDS was a complete one-hit wonder.
Yeah, it really was. Kind of like Chumbawamba.
Exactly like Chumbawamba.
Right. So, we finally get the Mandible plan. General Mandible, he has this deal where he's wanting to destroy the colony by flooding it. And he's wanting to start over, like kill all the workers and then just have like a soldier society making up this colony.
A pure race, he says.
Right. So now we brought Hitler into it. Lord. This is so convoluted, man. Also, once again, on the topic of entomology. So if we're talking about A Bug's Life, right? Okay. So we've got this ant deal, and there's like the grasshoppers, and the grasshoppers make the ants get food for them and whatnot. And maybe that doesn't happen in real life, but I'm sitting there buying it because there's also, the old fable about the ant and the grasshopper, and all that other shit. And the grasshopper just fucks off all the time while the ants collect all the food. And so it's kind of a play on that, whatever. In this, we've got a deal where there's an ant that wants to kill all the other ants and all that. I'm like, when does that ever happen in nature? This is so dumb,
Do the soldier ants ever turn on their worker ants?
Yeah, exactly. I could not begin to tell you. To me, I think that ants are more worried about like, let's get some shit and put it over here. That is their entire existence. So
well, and the soldier ants, they are constantly like policing around the area.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, I don't know a lot about. We've talked about these ants like we know something. I don't know shit, but I have watched enough Nature Channel shit to tell you at least that the worker ants work nonstop and the soldier ants literally just do circles around their area.
Right.
To
So
other things out.
So they don't like go to the bar and get drunk or dance or.
Oh, at 6:15 they do line dance.
Oh, okay. My bad.
That's the one fact they got in this movie.
I got you. You just can't see it. I mean, it's underground, obviously.
Yeah. The club's down there.
The club, along with the disco ball palace.
Yeah. If you put your ear to the ground at 6:15, you might be able to hear.
Oh Lord! I will keep in mind to not do that at 6:15 because that song creeped me out, man. So apparently they start this tunnel opening ceremony, and we see where fucking Sylvester Stallone ant is up there digging away. Once Z makes his way back, he hears Princess Bala, but she's actually escaped on her own, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, Bala tells Z about Mandible's plan to kill everyone. He plans to seal the ants in this mega tunnel that they're building and then flood it.
No, they see the drawing on the table.
Oh, that's what it is, yeah. This is about the time when I was really fighting off to sleep, man. I did not care.
Well, let me get you there.
Yeah, go ahead, please, God.
So,
yes.
This week's Fast Forward will be the final scene of this fucking shit show movie. Bala and Z find the queen. And all the people gathered in the one giant party room. I don't know what the hell they're calling it. So Z and Bala decide, we got to split up. Bala, you go tell your mom. I'll go tell the guys to stop digging. You'll never make it. She gets there, tells mom. The queen tells everybody to calm down. This is what we're going to do. Z does tell them to stop digging. They do, but it's too late. It's like a millimeter worth of dirt left. The whole lake bursts the dam and floods into the central room they're all in. And then Z comes up with his only idea he's had the whole movie, an ant ladder. And all these ants climb on top of each other until they get to the top. And they don't have enough ants, though, to get to the ceiling. So they send Z and Azteca up to the top of the ladder so they can get to the top, while Weaver holds the weight that they were holding, and they climb all the way up there. And all of a sudden, we don't need pickaxes or anything. We can just dig with our hands. And so Z digs with his hands and breaks right through in no time.
They're at the surface now.
Right at the surface. Right beside, by the way, no, literally underneath, where General Mandible is like talking to his soldiers about what the future looks like. When he sees this, General Mandible's pissed, obviously. So he tells Cutter to take care of it, and Cutter punches Mandible in the face. And the general gets pissed off, and he goes for Cutter, but Z jumps in the way, and so they fall. And Z falls all the way down back into this pit, down into the body of water, and the general hits a limb, which I guess he's dead. I don't know. They don't show us. And so Cutter flies down there. He pulls Z out of the water. Bala comes over, gives him his mouth-to-mouth, saves his life. The whole colony is now saved. And we found out that this whole thing took place in an anthill in Central Park.
I do like the zoom out because you look and like there's the anthill and then like the trash cans right next to it and then like the drinking fountain with that's the monolith, you know. And so that shit's all right there.
It's all really close.
Yeah. But oh my God, what a fucking dumb movie. The thing was that you were talking about with General Mandible when he falls back down in that hole. I was watching it like, oh, he's gonna come back. You just wait. No, I guess he died. Something. He's not around anymore.
Nope.
So that is Antz. What did you think, Mike?
I think we've already covered it.
So it's pretty good. Yeah.
It's bad.
Bad,
1998, you're at an all-time low in my world.
Is this worse than City of Angels?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I didn't fall asleep during City of Angels, so that's something. I just didn't care at all about this. I would not recommend it. I thought it sucked, and it's creepy looking and creepy sounding, and it's not funny. if that's what you're going for, is to have a good old Woody Allen laugh fest, then you're going to be really disappointed by this. So, didn't like it. Final thoughts, Mike?
This sucked.
Yeah, it was really bad. So anyway, did you watch anything this week worth mentioning, Mike? You had the week off, so
I did. What did I watch?
We finished
like I said,
Big Brother, obviously.
Yeah, I went to the Chiefs game. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I went. Oh yeah, Big Brother did wrap up. What'd you think about that?
Without giving away any spoilers, I kind of liked it. I think that the other contender for the winner actually kind of fucked himself a couple weeks ago. And so this is probably the only way that I think it could have gone.
How did he fuck himself?
Well, so I think that getting rid of Sam and keeping JC in the house was a fuck up, honestly.
Oh, because her vote?
Yeah, she switched votes at the last minute, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and I think that it's why is because she felt like betrayed. And if he hadn't had gone that route, then it very easily could have swayed her vote. But yeah.
Well, a person who won dominated.
The entire, like at the start of the game, I didn't really pay any attention to her, but the last half of the game, oh my God, this person was incredible, like unstoppable.
So I thought the two players that should have been in the finals were.
Yes,
and at that point, I knew it was going to be really close vote, and I'd be happy either way. I thought they both deserved to win.
I agree.
I'm really
and the person that won, I wasn't like disappointed that they won or anything. I thought it was, both of them worked hard to get there, and shit. So, fair enough.
I'm really glad they stuck to their final two deal.
No, I am too, definitely. Even though he had like a million final twos, but I think this is the actual final two deal that he was banking on, though. So yeah.
Like 4 showmances came out of this season.
Yeah. Oh God. In case you didn't watch it, and if you do watch it, whatever. But Swaggy and Bailey, I guess, they're proposed. They spent 23 days on the show, and now they're engaged. You've known this person 3 weeks. Come the fuck on, dude.
You've spent more time with her parents than you did with her.
Absolutely. And he's like, my name is Swaggy C. If you marry me, I'll give you a t-shirt. I got this ring from trading in on my bitcoins. So fucking stupid, but whatever. Those two can go annoy each other through the rest of their lives. That's fine. Oh, damn. Swaggy and Bailey are off the market now. Fuck. Oh, whatever. Did you watch anything movie-wise, or?
Yeah. I watched, actually a few films. I watched Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, what'd you think of that?
Oh, totally believable.
I thought it was a piece of dog shit.
Have you seen it?
Like that movie. Yeah, we went to the theater. I hated it. I almost walked out.
I don't like where the movie went with it.
I won't
ruin
of
it for other people. Huh?
I didn't like any of it, I don't think. So
pretty contrived. What else did I watch? I watched Tag.
Oh, was that any good?
I loved it.
See, I think Ed Helms is about as funny as a funeral, so...
So he's... Jeremy Renner is why I like the movie so much.
I do like Jeremy Renner.
Well, his character in this movie in particular is pretty great.
Yeah.
He makes the whole movie, though. Without him, it's a piece of shit. I watched...
Well, he's like your boy, though, too. Jeremy Renner. Aren't you like a pretty big fan of his?
Not particularly.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Ocean's 8.
I like... and then I watched Ocean's 8.
How was that? Not great.
Not a fan, which I'm disappointed because I wanted to be one.
Yeah.
Because I like everybody in the cast.
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock, love her. Kate Blanchett, love her. Ariana
Hathaway.
Grande. Oh, Anne Hathaway? Are you kidding me?
Huge fan. She's a great actress.
Yeah. Rihanna? Come on, man.
Right.
Love Rihanna. Who else was in there? I don't know. There was a couple others, but
Yeah.
just didn't feel
Not your
good when
thing,
I was
huh?
watching it.
Yeah.
Oh, and
This
Shameless
week-
is back out.
Oh yeah, we haven't watched that yet. We're trying to finish Ozark, which we're way behind on that shit.
We are too.
But yeah, we're gonna finish that up and then tear into Shameless, I think. So this week, so we went through and we were watching Honey, I Shrunk the Kids a little bit after we recorded last week.
What? Did I tell you I watched that recently?
Oh really? No,
Yeah,
you
with
didn't.
Farrah.
I thought Madeline might get into it, and it's a movie that I kind of like. But Madeline, I think she might still be a little too young because she was like, "Man, I don't really care all
Farrah
that
thought it was
much."
awesome.
Oh, it's a good movie. I'm not gonna lie about that. The only thing that I have is while I was watching it, and this is a problem I have when they do any sort of movie where, you know, these they shrink something down, like even Ant-Man and shit like that. So they talk about how they're shrinking down the inanimate space that's in between atoms or whatever, these molecules and stuff, you know, and that's how they shrink stuff down, is all that dormant space. They basically excise it. But my thing is so you've gotten rid of this this dormant space, but they, you know, all the molecules and stuff like that still exist. And so, like, basically, even though something is like super small, it's still gonna have the same weight and the same density. And so, like, the whole idea of these kids like running across the dog's nose or like flying on a bee and shit like that would never happen. The kid's still gonna weigh like 50 pounds, you know.
Thank you for ruining a great film.
Well, and we're also talking about when Ant-Man like shrunk down to be like subatomic. You can't do that. If you have atoms in your body, you can't be subatomic in size, but we won't go there. But this week I think I might have started kind of a new tradition actually, because I'm chomping at the bit right now for October to roll around, because during October, dude, I crank up all the horror movies that I watch from 0 to
yeah.
60. Yeah.
Nicole and I are about to start that kick as well. I got my
Hell yeah.
Halloween costume and it's fucking awesome.
What is it?
I'm
Or
Jon
can you
Snow.
say? Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
That's pretty legit. Yeah.
the costume's
be-
legit.
Yeah. We're gonna be Ghostbusters, as you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, is that I was really excited to watch these movies, and then I was like, but it's not October yet. And so, like, I got started, like, I decided to instead watch these, like, remakes of horror movies that I want to watch during October. And so, like, I watched the Jeff Goldblum The Fly, which I probably won't watch the original of. But I did watch the remake. I watched the Donald Sutherland Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I watched, which that's actually a really good movie. I watched this week the reboot of Friday the 13th and the reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street, which both
Damn.
were crap. Yeah,
Putting in work, son.
I am. I watched the remake of Evil Dead, which is actually pretty good. And then I watched that Scarlett Johansson, and I think you mentioned that you saw it, but that's Under the Skin.
Under the skin.
Yeah, where she's basically like lures those dudes back to her house or whatever, and they like sink into the floor and shit, and she's basically like trying to capture these dudes. Yeah, it's on Netflix, man. It's really bizarre, but
I've never seen it, I don't think.
she's basically trying to like lure these dudes back to her house, and they never really even say why, but she's supposed to be like an extraterrestrial. And
It would take
whenever
Scarlett Johansson 0 seconds to convince me to come back to her house.
absolutely. Right?
She's like,
You wanna have
should
sex?
come back to my
Yup.
house now. I'm like, okay.
Cool, whatever. Where do you live? The thing is, though, is that she has a difficult time picking the guys out because she wants to pick guys that aren't going to be missed if they disappear, you know? And so it's one of those deals where, like, these dudes will go through back to her house or whatever, and, you know, they'll start taking off their clothes, you know, and then she's, like, walking off, you know, while she's stripping down or whatever. And then all of a sudden they start blending into the floor, like they're sinking into it or whatever. And they never say what she's capturing these dudes for, but it's strange, but really enjoyable. So it's on Netflix. Check it out if you haven't seen it. I like it.
Okay.
Mike, we said earlier this was number 1 for 2 weeks, which God bless their souls. I don't know why. But I mentioned to you earlier on that you should probably have a pick for a movie that you would like to watch. And so I'm anxious to see if you did, and if so, what it is.
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
I don't know.
Good. Literally, I'll wait to think about it.
I don't know to pick.
Are we gonna hold it off until next week, or maybe announce it on social media or some shit?
Yeah, we'll put it on the social media.
There you go. So if you want to find out what we're going to be watching, you can check us out at Casino Royale with Cheese, all separate words, on Facebook. You can also email us, cheesymovie@yahoo.com. If you want to look us up on Twitter, it's Casino Royale WCH, all one word, which we don't use that anyway, so I don't know why you'd waste your time.
Yeah, don't go to Twitter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube, all that shit. You can look us up, Casino Royale W Cheese, all one word, and you can find our podcast there and artwork that I've done for the show, like thumbnails for YouTube and shit like that. So, any final thoughts, Mike?
I wish I had something deep to say.
Something deep.
Because this movie that we had to watch this week was so numbing.
Oh, yeah. No, it's horrible. Really bad. I don't know what else there is to really to put out there about it, dude. It's
We'll have
just
to
an
pick a
awful
good
movie.
movie for this week to talk about.
What you think is a good movie, but don't say like Transformers or some goofy shit like that, like some Michael Bay explosion fest, because
Those aren't 20 years. Those aren't 20 years old though either.
No, but he has other shit. Like I would accept, like maybe Bad Boys or something like that. But yeah,
Michael Bay make Bad Boys.
Yeah, both of them.
I like Bad Boys.
I like Bad Boys. He also did The Rock, and I think that's a good movie. But yeah, I guess I'm out of opinions, at least on this.
Me too.
All right, everybody. Well, make sure that you check us out on social media to find out what we're watching next week, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
I'll be back.